All right, here is a quick video on creating unique searches for users so they can have one individual control over their column layout. It's also possible to create searches that are effectively for a given department, but showing this effectively achieves the same thing. So for any user that's got normal rights, they should be able to go in and create a new folder here. Can change this name. I'm going to call it My Searches. Like so, and click outside of there. Now there's going to be a small little changes are not saved to save this. You can click that, but what you really want to do is just keep going. You want to put something into that searches folder so that it'll hold on to it. So I'm creating a new search by clicking the plus button here. And then the key is you need to add in the search parameters in order to get this to be functional. And right now, this is going to be automatically shared only with the group, the person that made it, the user that made it. And that's kind of the key. That way no one else can make edits to your search if you don't want to use something that's the same as everybody else's or have a one set way to use it. Like if you know that you want it to be set a certain way, then we in the admin team should update the core search so that it has what most people want. And then for anyone that wants something outside of that, they should create their own search. So this is the path we would use to get there on this case. So we're going to go ahead and do the AP invoice history. We'll do that one. And this is going to be based off of the fields that we know that we need. So like document definition, right there, document definition is the first one. Then we can keep adding in the additional fields. We can say invoice, take invoice number. This is based off of, first thing you have to define the document, then you have to put in the search fields that you want. So then we'll do vendor, vendor number, probably vendor name right there. So just adding those in, then PO. Well, if you want PO number. In this case, we'll just leave it without PO in it. So this is the regular search. So that's what you would do. Now, also, I typically would turn off the visibility on the document definition so you don't have to look at it every time. And then we're going to look for invoices. There it is, invoices history right there. And then I'm going to change this from equal to be in list so we can have more than one. And then it jumps me down there and I grab, oh wait, not that one. Yeah, actually I do want that. Those are the two we want for this. And then here I would change this to starts with. You don't have to, but it just means that the beginning of it is all that has to match, and then it'll pull it up. If you want to return fewer, you can obviously make it equal to, but that's one of the nice things about setting up your own searches. But that's it. There you go. And then the last thing is to just give this a name. And so you might call this like my AP invoice search, something like that. Whatever you call it, whatever you want, but whatever makes sense. And then of course I told it to actually give me the search, and there we go. So now we've got a search and I put it into my searches, and then I can drag this up to the top right there. And I'll put that into, there we go. So now I've got my searches and I've got a my AP invoice search in here. I would do the same thing to create a new search. Let's make one and call it my AP invoice by PO or whatever you want to call it. Do the same thing. Add those in, but then also add in the PO number right there. And then on this, I would probably again set that to starts with. Doesn't have to be up to whatever rules you want on that. But as you can see, there's other options. If you want to make something that's missing a value or whatnot, then that's another option. So now we've created this one, right? And then I can do the same thing. Take this right up here. Now I'm putting them into my folder so that they're easy to find. And then the last one, I'll just go through creating that one too. Make one more. And this would be based on like the purchase orders. Any searches that you use in the group, they have 3, so that's why I'm doing these. But if somebody else wants that, they could do the same thing. Or if they like the basic search of purchase orders, they can just go and grab it, right, from, or it's in my old searches. So like this one here, if I say, oh, you know what, that one's actually fine the way it is, but I want to put it in the same folder, then I can just drag it up here and put it in here, right? If I don't like that one, then no worries, I can just make a new one. I come up here and just say, let's make a new search again. And then this one is pretty similar, although document again, document definition. On this, it was purchase orders, purchase order, and then also receiving list. And list and receiving list. Oh, there it was. There you go. Then PO number, vendor name, and vendor number. There we go. And then you can drag the order that these appear. This just affects the search page, just so you know. And then again, if you want to make this starts with, instead of just searching for the exact match, you can do the same thing on the starts with name. That might be handy there too. So, but whatever the settings you want. Go back in here and call this my purchase order search. Or whatever, again, whatever you want to call it. Okay, then drag that. You can see the little red line. It shows you where it is in relation to this. You could also drag it and drop it on top of the search folder. But that's it. So that creates specific searches. Now this video, you could share. You could, maybe share it with Angie and let her take a look at it and see if she feels comfortable setting up her own searches. That way she has full control. These are only in hers. If you want to look at that again, let's just take a look down here in the permissions. It's the only user that has it. So like if Angie makes one of these, it's just going to say Angie here, and nobody has access to Angie's search unless she wants to share it. She can call it Angie search if she wants, and if everybody likes Angie's search, then they can just use her search and it would show up with shared with me if she wants to share it. Or if she wants to share it with just one person, she could do that too. Over here, she says, you know what, I like this layout. Now I'm just going to add additional users, right? That way you don't have to create the same layout over and over. You just need to know like how many unique versions of these searches do you need. You can set up as many as you want, even within a user, and then that user can share it. Once that user does that, that's the user that has control over all of those things. So they control that layout. So you don't have to make one. Each user doesn't have to make one unless they want a search that's not currently set up. Then they need to make their own version. And I hope that does it. I'm going to share this with you. And if you have additional questions, just let me know.